although, okay, I'll do the proper introduction in a few minutes and encourage us on how to address him, although I'll do the proper, okay. Why does that happen all the time? I don't know, but here we go. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Welcome to Medical Message with Dr. O. Another week of learning, another week of just digging deep into more knowledge. Well, I'm excited tonight, especially excited, but I'll introduce myself first. I'm Toyin Okwesami, a family practitioner, HIV specialist, and I treat addictions in Maryland. I, enjoy learning as well as, teaching at the same time. So we're here tonight to learn more. And who else can we learn about what we're going to learn tonight from other than our very own Dr. Reverend Michael Oye, who I call Papa. It's my Papa, but Papa is referred to by most as Brother Mike. You cannot look at him and figure out what his exact age is because he looks so much younger than his age, always glowing. A mentor for many, my mentor and my spiritual dad. He is a pastor. He got his bachelor's at the University of Ibadan, PhD in Agric at Obafemi Awolowo University, and also PhD in naturopathic medicine in the United States. Papa will correct me if I get any of this wrong. He is an independent alternative medicine practitioner and an experienced Christian minister for over 5 decades. He has a track record of effectively dealing with many chronic physical, mental, and spiritual human disorders in a holistic way. His broad and comprehensive education and deep interest in the well-being of humankind are the basis for his practice. And he practices naturopathic medicine in a way that I've not seen anyone do it. It takes the whole being. Actually, in Nigeria, has an inpatient setting where he would admit people and bring them back to health from any ailment. I happened to stumble on a particular leaf that somebody called me about a few weeks ago, and I contacted Papa Mike to find out what he was, and he blew my mind. Immediately, I told him the name of the leaf. He responded to me. He told me a huge biological name that I was like, what's that, Papa? I don't know what that is. And, that led to a slew of conversation that brought us tonight, that he needs to share this knowledge with us. He said the leaf is Bryophyllum pinnatum. And in Yoruba, sir, what is it called? I'm going to defer to you, sir. The table is yours so that you can, just take this conversation to where it needs to go tonight. So I don't belabor things, sir. So, sir, the floor is yours and welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Your introduction is apt and correct.
Thank you, sir.
And I want to welcome everybody to this platform today. It's always a pleasure to be here. I wish I could be there every week, but sometimes it's not possible. Dr. O, I want to commend you for setting up this forum because I believe it has blessed thousands of people all over the world. And the thing will continue to multiply so that people may live a more realistic, abundant life.
Amen.
As you have said, it is the plant you mentioned, Bryophyllum pinnatum, that brought about tonight's topic. And tonight's topic deals with herbs or plants that are so endowed with properties from God, making them unique as special plants that rejuvenate the body, that make the body grow younger. Now, this is a mystery from God, and science has now revealed that there are plants that actually make stem cells in the body reproduce themselves in such a way that dead or dying organs are rejuvenated. And that is the secret of people like Methuselah, people like Noah, even people as late as Moses and so on, live longer. And it comes to the point of saying, you are what you eat. You are what you drink. So we want to consider tonight a survey of a few plants that are able to make our bodies stronger, healthier, younger, and to produce longevity in our lives. Because the properties of plants are so many, I am going to narrow down on 3 properties, medicinal properties of plants, and give practical examples of such groups. As I go on, we will find out that in fact, many plants can fall into the 3 categories I am going to speak about. That means those plants are very versatile and should be uppermost in the things we eat. The 3 groups I'm going to speak about are called alteratives, alter, ALTERATIVES, alteratives, alter, to transform, to change. Alteratives. There are some plants that exhibit that particular property. They are alternatives. We will define it soon. Another group we are going to consider is adaptogens. Adaptogens. Now, they are plants that adapt organs and make the body to conform to standards that will bring equilibrium. When things have gone haywire, when things are not in balance in the body, physiologically or otherwise, the adaptogens bring everything back to normal. The third group we are going to consider are called tonics. 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 A tonic can be considered as all-purpose plant that is able to influence positively almost every organ in the body. Now, let me define those three groups and give some common examples so that later we can discuss them and find some profitable use of each one of them. Alternatives. Alternatives are plants that simply purify the blood. Remember that the blood is the life stream of the body. The life is in the blood. Every cell of the body depends on the blood. The blood is the medium in which every cell lives. The blood is the supplier of all the ingredients God wants every cell to receive. The blood is also the medium by which every poison in the body gets out of the body. So the health of the blood is the health of every cell, every tissue, every organ, and every system of the body. Without the blood, there is no life. The state of the blood determines the quality of the life. So you can see that alternatives are extremely important to keep the body going, to keep the body healthy, and to prolong life itself. Some good examples of alternatives which I want to highlight but before I do that, let me say the alternatives do a cleansing work of vital organs, such as the liver, the kidneys, the spleen, the bowels, the lungs, and the skin. You'll notice that those things I have mentioned contain all the excretory organs. Lungs, kidneys, bowels, liver, and the skin are all excretory organs. They put out the poisons that have accumulated in the body, bringing them out of the body. And alternatives help in this process of cleansing the body. Good examples and fairly common among alternatives are corn silk, ordinary corn silk. I hope we know the silk that is like hair that comes out of the cob of corn, maize, zea maize. That fluffy thing that comes out like human hair from the cob of the corn is a very powerful alternative. Another one is both the leaf and the stem bark of a plant called Neuboldia. Neuboldia laevis. Neuboldia. And the second name is laevis. Laevis. Now, that's a very big name for a very common plant called chieftaincy plant. And for those who come from Nigeria, and particularly from the West, it is the tree that bears the leaves with which we crown our kings and obas. Can somebody pronounce the name of that tree? What tree do we use in Yoruba land to crown obas?
Akoko.
Akoko. Very good, very good. You have passed the exam. Now, that plant is extremely versatile for scores of disorders and diseases in the body. And the main reason it is so powerful is because God created it with chemicals that cleanse the blood. It is an alternative, modifying, purifying almost every organ in the body, and therefore rejuvenating the body as a whole. Neuboldia laevis. Another good one is Cassia occidentalis, which today is called Senna occidentalis. Senna is Senna, occidentalis. In Ghana, among the Akans, it is called Mmofrabodie. Is somebody getting it there? In Nigeria, it's a very common plant. It belongs to the leguminous family. It grows behind houses in the open. And it has got a pod that looks like a biro. And that leguminous pod splits when it is ripe to spread some brown, shiny seeds. When I mention a name tonight, you can Google it and see the image of the plant, and you'll be surprised that you know many of those plants I'm mentioning. Senna occidentalis is one of the most powerful purgatives in the world. And it helps particularly to cleanse the gut, to remove poisons from every tissue of the alimentary system to help the movement of bowels, which is extremely important for health. This is because constipation is one of the major causes of chronic diseases. And once the bowels are able to move freely, we have overcome most of the chronic diseases that shorten life and also shorten the quality of our lives. Another good one is stinging nettle. Stinging nettle. That is a fairly common plant. The scientific name is Olchica. Stinging nettle. If you Google it, you will find that it's a common plant. When it's alive, it stings. But when you cook it, it's edible. It's a very versatile plant with almost all the vitamins needed by the body and also almost all the minerals needed by the body. So it repairs the body in a wonderful way. Another very common one, domestic, is avocado. Both the fruit of avocado and the leaves. If you study the properties of that plant, you will be surprised about how many things it is able to do because of the things God has put as phytochemicals in the plant and in the fruit. Another good one is Heliotropium. Heliotropium indicum. Now, the Yorubas call Heliotropium Ogbe Akuko. Ogbe Akuko. It is so versatile and is prominent in the healing of cancers and tumors anywhere in the body. Heliotropium indicum. And yet another very common one is dandelion. Dandelion. There is a variety of it in West Africa, which our local people eat. Dr. Ajayi. Hello?
Dr. Ajagbe.
How many of us know dandelion? Anybody?
I do, sir.
Do you remember the Yoruba name?
No, sir.
It's a vegetable, you know.
It grows wild in my backyard.
Exactly. It grows in my front yard. Of course. Dr. Blum, you have so many plants growing in your backyard.
Well, dandelion just grows wild here.
It grows
So
very, very fast.
Yes.
The root is good for the liver, and the leaves are eaten in salads because it's high in iron.
Thank you, doctor. Now,
Yes.
it is it's as prolific in the body as it is in growth.
Yoruba call it Iwe-yanrin. Is that true?
Iwe-yanrin.
Yanrin.
Thank you, my sister.
Yes.
It is the real core villagers who eat it with a core. And that is why they are so strong. That's why they can resist terrible diseases. That particular alternative is specialized for the kidneys and the liver. When your kidneys and your liver are healthy, the life is prolonged. And also the gut. Another very good one is Carica papaya, the common pawpaw. Papaya, both the fruit and the leaves, and even the seeds. We cannot go into all the properties and the things they do in this introductory session. But just let's note these things and do more research on each one of them and see the phenomena they display in our lives. I am talking about alternatives and how they enhance the quality of our lives. Last but not the least is Bryophyllum pinnatum. Bryophyllum pinnatum. Abamuda or Odundun. This plant, incidentally, was brought down to the rest of the world from the top of the Himalayan mountains in Tibet and India. It is said that during Noah's flood, a little bit of the top of the Himalayan mountains, that are the highest mountains in the world, was not touched by the flood. And therefore, the original plants that got made from the beginning of this planet were not affected and were not destroyed. And one of such life-giving plants is this Bryophyllum pinnatum. I have grown this plant for over 50 years in Ofatedo in Osun State. And I'm right now propagating it in my small garden here. It is what the Yorubas call Bobo Nse. It is so versatile, it can do almost anything the body needs. I advise us to really do some research on it and get it planted in our homes for immediate and appropriate use. The phenomenon about it is that both the leaves and the stem can be used to propagate the the plant vegetatively. If you hang the leaf with a string in the air, the tips of the leaves will grow new plants. Just the rib, the tip of the leaves. If you put the leaf in a book, in a few days, new plants will grow from the tip of the leaf. If you put the leaf in water, in a few days, many new plants will arise from the tip of the leaf. If you put the leaf in the soil, not too deep, within a few days, many new plants will grow at the tip. And you can transplant those new plants that have grown. Another wonderful thing about it is that you don't need to be watering it many times because it has a habit of storing water by itself. It's a very hardy type of plant, but the properties are phenomenal. So that's an introduction to alternatives, adaptogens. Adaptogens do almost the same work as alternatives, but they deal more with the nervous system, the endocrine system, and also partly with the blood. The emphasis on the work adaptogens do is to reduce and remove stress and bring balance in the body. So they deal with psychosomatic conditions in the body. And they become particularly relevant in this our age, where we are so busy running up and down, not resting enough, so that the stressful conditions in our lives, like blood pressure, hypertension, sleeplessness, insomnia, mental disorders, and so on and so forth, that are particularly increased with old age, dementia. Those things are going to find this adaptogens very, very useful. So, as a definition, adaptogens are considered to help the body adapt to stress and to exert a normalizing effect on bodily processes. They help to bring the body to normal and to remove stress. Some of the best examples of adaptogens are Panax ginseng. Ginseng has become so popular. Panax ginseng. Now, Panax ginseng affects almost every organ of the body. managing inflammation everywhere, reducing inflammation from every part of the body, from the brain to the central nervous system, to the muscles, to the bones, to the lymphatic system, everything. Incidentally, there is something in naturopathic study that is a phenomenon. We look at the structure of a plant or plant part, and we are able to determine what it does. We call it signature. Everywhere ginseng grows, the root system, which is the main part used as an adaptogen, grows in the form of the human body. That means each branch of the root system has a head, has a trunk, has two arms, and has two legs. Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
God, in his wisdom and in his power to communicate to us, has made the root system of ginseng to have the major body parts. Holistic. Head. The head is attached to the base of the stem. Immediately after that are two arms hanging by the sides. And then there's a trunk. And from the trunk down, there are two legs. And that multiplies itself around the base of the stem. That is God speaking to us saying, use this part of this plant. It will deal with your problems from head to toe. And that has proved to be the case because Panax ginseng is a do-all. Please get familiar with it. Whether you are Orthodox or not, experiment it, please. The next one is a very, very common plant. Holy basil. Ocimum basilicum. Ocimum basilicum. Ephiri. Are we there?
Yes.
Yeah, it is so common at the backyard of our houses that we don't think of it as anything.
Scent leaf.
Scent leaf. There are two major varieties. Each one of them is good. The one with smaller leaves and the one with bigger leaves. If you want something that will deal with your diabetes, your high blood pressure, your constipation, your congested pulmonary system, your catarrh, all types of things. Just use that particular herb in different forms. And your body is being rejuvenated. You are removing so many poisons there.
I just read that somewhere.
Another very good common one is terminalia catapa. Terminalia, terminal. Terminalia catapa. Catapa is C-A-T-A-P-P-A. Terminalia catapa. The common name in West Africa is the umbrella tree. Umbrella tree. I don't know how many of us know that.
Can we see your face, please?
Hello? Terminalia. If you spell terminal, just add IA. Terminalia catapa. The Yorubas call it Ekpa Omode, Ekpa. Ekpa Omode. I think the Ghanaians also call it Emofrankache. Emofrankache is an ornamental tree whose branches grow almost horizontal and they form very good shade trees in villages and towns. Lagos City is full of it. Almost every rich man in his house has got terminalia there. The leaves are broad. When the leaves fall down, the green leaves turn reddish yellow. Are we beginning to know it? Does anybody listening to me know it?
I don't.
Dr. Ajagbe,
Is it the fruit trees?
I
Attorney,
think I do, sir.
it give fruit, it give fruit.
I-
Good.
Attorney Williams knew it. He got it. He said fruit tree.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh, see, the lawyers know it. It's the lawyers. the attorney.
Even
I
in
do.
my secondary school, we used to have it, and we had it in our compound on the street too. At
I'm
home.
happy. I'm happy now that some people know it.
Yeah.
It's a very, very common tree. Those leaves are a reservoir of the grace of God.
Sorry, I stepped away. It's Indian almond.
Indian almond, that's a common name. Sometimes they call it African almond.
Yeah.
Indian almond, African almond. Emofrankache, Ekpa Omode, Igi fruit. Now, listen, that adaptogen will deal with insomnia, high blood pressure, diabetes, epilepsy. It's a nervine and will deal with repair of the brain and the central nervous system. It will deal with sleeplessness. It is full of minerals and vitamins. That is to say a few. But you go and do research on it and see how God has blessed us. And most of these things are domestic. They are near us. Another good one, which you can find in America here particularly, is ashwagandha. I think many of us know ashwagandha. I don't need to speak much about that. Another good one, which is common here in the US, is astragalus. Astragalus. Now, ashwagandha and astragalus present in the body, if we put it in our bodies, is going to help the few stem cells still left in the body that have not gone away as we grow old to multiply themselves. So one secret here is, if you take these ones regularly, you are going to repair and replace many organs that are dying, and you are going to renew the lifespan of those cells and organs. Another good one, which is common here in the US, is licorice. Licorice. Well, it goes without saying that Bryophyllum also goes under this group again, adaptogens. Now let me go to tonics. What is a tonic?
Papa, we can see your head.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
What is a tonic? Tonic is a blood-producing herb. I didn't say blood cleansing. Blood cleansing is what we have already described as alterative. But a tonic is a blood-producing herb that increases energy and strengthens the whole body. That's a general definition. But different organs also need different types of tonic. Examples of tonics are, again, some of those we have already called adaptogens and alternatives. Neuboldia comes in again. Neuboldia laevis. That's 15C3. Another good one is Ageratum conizoides. Ageratum, Ageratum, then conizoides, Conyzoides. Ageratum conizoides. How many of us know goatweed? Goatweed. Now that is Ageratum. Does anybody know it? Google it.
Did you mean honey, goat weed?
No. Don't put the honey there.
Oh, okay. All right.
HORNY, honey goatweed, is completely different from goatweed.
Okay. All right.
Although honey goatweed is a very important plant, that increases that increases blood circulation. But that is by the way. Has anybody seen goat wheat?
Sir, online, it's honey goat wheat that is all over. And I think it's because
No.
it's
There is
erectile
goat wheat.
dysfunction also.
Okay, you Google Ageratum coniozoides.
Okay.
Google the image. It's always good to get the image so that any ignorance can be cleared. Ageratum coniozoides. Very, very common all over villages, even in cities, by the roadside. One phenomenon is that God makes some of the most powerful plants to grow by the roadside, and we don't recognize them. If you see the whitish, bluish flowers at the top, you will know it's a very common plant.
So it's called billy goatweed.
What?
Billy goatweed, Ageratum coniozoides.
Yeah, correct.
It's in the
The
daisy
common tree is
family.
goatwood. Mhm.
It's in the daisy family.
Yeah, it's in the daisy family. Now, the daisy family is Asteraceae. Asteraceae.
Chai.
That is the sunflower family.
Oh.
And may I say one thing? The sunflower family consists of many adaptogens, many tonics, and many alternatives. All the members of that family, Asteraceae, are antibiotics, antiviral, antifungal. They are antibacterial. They are hemostatic. They will stop both external and internal bleeding. All members. And it is interesting that this family includes bitter leaf.
Mhm.
So note it. Let me say something about bitter leaf right now, because it's one of the tonics. Now, the scientific name of bitter leaf is Vernonia amygdalina. Vernonia amygdalina is AMYGDALINA. Amygdalina. Vernonia amygdalina. Now, there is a complex substance in Vernonia amygdalina called amygdalin. That complex compound has the capacity to waking up, resuscitate, or resurrect, if you want to use it, the islets of Langerhans in the pancreas. Dr. Ajagbe?
Dr. Ajagbe, where are you?
Dr. Ajagbe?
Dinner.
Okay. Now, that amygdalin is able to wake up dying islets of Langerhans so that even people with type 1 diabetes are able to later produce
Dr.
insulin.
Stop going in and out, sir. You were just
Okay.
talking and you didn't answer.
All right.
You were just
Now,
talking.
what I'm saying is very important for people suffering from type 1 diabetes. Amygdalin has been created by God to bring new life to dying islets of Langerhans so that they may begin to produce insulin naturally for the body. This is one of the reasons why bitter leaf is able to control diabetes in the body. So bitter leaf is a tonic. Other members of the tonics are Phyllanthus. Phyllanthus amorus. Now, Phyllanthus is Phyllanthus. Phyllanthus amorus. Amorus. If you Google Phyllanthus, you will see that it's a small plant, but very powerful with compound leaves. It's a bit bitter, but it deals with the kidneys and deals with the liver particularly, sanitizing them. It deals with diabetes. It deals with fevers. It deals with kidney stones. Another plant, which is very useful, and in fact, makes dying tissues grow back, is Paullinia. Paullinia pinnata. Paullinia. Paullinia pinnata. Pinnate. Pinnata. Now that plant, both the leaf and the fruit are very useful as a tonic for the
Sir.
body. Hello.
Mr. Duarte wrote Ẹyin Olobe in your Ẹyin Olobe.
Ẹyin Olobe.
Olobe.
Ẹyin, the back.
Ẹyin
Ẹyin Olobe.
Olobe in Yoruba. Ẹyin.
Ẹyin. Not ẹyin.
Ẹyin, yes. And then Ẹyin Wonwa and Unwu in Igbo. Oyo Mokesu. Sir, Mr. Duarte, sir, kindly unmute and pronounce these things. I'm having difficulty with it.
I think Igbo calls it Ungu.
Okay.
I can't pronounce the Hausa name. Yeah.
The Hausa.
Giron Sukaye.
Yeah, Sunsaye.
It's a very, very common plant, grows very prolifically, and can grow almost to the door of villagers.
Which is this one, sir? What is the biological name? What is the name?
That's Phyllanthus amarus.
Phyllanthus amarus.
Amarus.
Okay, got you. Yes, sir.
It's very, very common. Incidentally, for those who are interested, I have most of these plants in my lab here, already processed. I use them to make formulae for different diseases.
We are coming, sir.
Uh-huh. Because I want people to be very healthy and strong. Let me round up so that there will be time for discussion. I've mentioned Paulinia. Now, this Paulinia, because of its effectiveness, it has got a Ghanaian name, which is proverbial. If you have even a vein cut on your hand, real vein cut into two, and it's bleeding profusely, and you put a poultice of the leaf of Paulinia over that cut vein, the next day, you will find the two cut veins joined together again. That means there will be growth at the two ends of the cut vein that will join them together. Paulinia propagates growth, multiplicity of cells that are at that point. Now, that works directly with stem cells, changing stem cells in the body into differentiated cells according to the location and the physiology of that spot. So these are the things I want us to discuss. Other things there under tonic are mistletoe. Mistletoe is a very common plant. Avocado, we have mentioned avocado under adaptogens. Dandelion again. Carica here again. And Bryophyllum again. Some of these plants are repeating themselves under each section. Now, there are a few other things that we can do to help the few stem cells in older people to multiply so that longevity and youthfulness can be restored. Vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 is essential for it. Plants containing resveratrol. A few plants containing resveratrol as a phytochemical can be helpful. How many of you know that grapes, red grapes, is a very good source of resveratrol? And then peanuts, the pink cover of peanuts is very rich in resveratrol. Many of us, we peel off that pinkness and we eat only the peanut, and we remove the essential parts. We throw it away, and ghosts will come and eat that one and get stronger. Exercise, at least a bit of exercise daily, also helps the few stem cells left in our body to multiply. Curcumin. Curcumin. Who can tell me the major source of curcumin? Hello?
Don't know,
Who
sir.
can tell me that?
How do you spell it, sir?
Curcumin, Curcumin.
Curcumin.
MIN. Okay, let's go on because of time. It's
Turmeric.
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 Yes.
Turmeric, yes. Turmeric or ginger?
Yeah, turmeric.
Yes, okay.
Ginger is also a good tonic, but curcumin is really found mainly in turmeric. But note it, if you are going to take turmeric as tea or in your soup or in any way, you need to add a pinch of black pepper. A pinch of black pepper. If you add a pinch of black pepper, you increase the bioavailability of curcumin by 2,000%. So it serves as a catalyst. Well, you will notice that all that we have described in a way act like catalysts to the major processes of the body for healthy living. And as we make use of some of these things provided by God, we shall live a better life. I won't stop until I mention one vitamin that is extremely important for both abundant life and longevity. The vitamin is spelled LOVE. Incidentally, love is the most potent ingredient made by God that rejuvenates the body, that destroys diseases, and that prolongs life. I mean it. It's not a theory. I practice it and I know it. I refer you, please, to study very carefully Isaiah chapter 58, verses 6 to 12. Isaiah chapter 58, verses 6 to 12.
You said the vitamin that rejuvenates the body does something else before prolongs life. Does what else, sir?
I said, if you use LOVE
Yes, sir.
as a daily catalyst,
Yes, sir.
you are going to get the best tonic, the best life-giving, life-changing tonic that will rejuvenate the body and give long life.
Yes.
There are 10 specific blessings from verses 8 to 12 of Isaiah 58, dependent on the love described in verses 6 and 7. And I want each one of us to do an exercise on that and gain profusely from the secret of God. There is nothing more than love that heals diseases and gives longer life. The opposite is the case. Every form of sin and hatred and malice and anger and envy and jealousy will shorten life And the person will become like a garden without a fence. And all types of diseases will enter. I rest my case here.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. This is loaded. But before I even take questions, say something. Thank you. I saw that hand. I'm going to call you in a minute. Hammond from London wrote, when you said vitamin love. Hammond from London wrote, many wives then. And my big brother, Mr. Duarte, said, wife or wives? So, sir, do you want to comment on that, sir? Because I do have a comment.
Well, when I say love, I'm not just talking of emotions, you know.
Yeah.
I am talking of selflessness. That capacity to die so that another may live. That propensity to give so that another may receive.
Mm.
That lifestyle to suffer deliberately so that another may enjoy. That capacity to give joyfully so that another may receive. That capacity to weep and cry so that another may rejoice. It is a lifestyle that comes from God.
Amen.
And you see, the Bible says, beloved, let us love one another. For love is of God. He who loves is born of God and knows God. He who does not love does not know God. The book of 1 John has transformed my life completely. Every chapter, every verse speaks of love from God. And when you have God inside of you, well, you have nothing to fear. Perfect love casts out all fear. But fear has to do with torment. You see, fear brings hypertension and all subsequent things. So when there is no fear, you are perfected in love. And this is where the healing comes in. Because when you love, it is God who is loving through you. And where there is God, there is no disease, you know. In fact, if you read the chapter I said, that Isaiah 58, there is one phrase that says, as a consequence of love, your bones shall be renewed, your bones. And you see the bones, the marrow of the bones is the seat of the immune system. Are you there?
Yes, sir. We're here, sir.
So when your bone is being renewed by God, it means platelets, red blood corpuscles, white blood corpuscles, all organelles, fresh ones, are being recreated within your marrow. And they come into the whole system of your blood. That is rejuvenation. Okay.
Thank you so very much, sir. Before I call on Auntie Tower, I got some text messages saying that, you know, they don't speak Yoruba or Ghana. Some people are not Africans on this platform and couldn't follow the name. So what I did immediately was I started taking the notes. I don't think I missed anything. Please take your phone and take pictures of all of those segments because I took the notes. And if you have questions, you can ask me. I will revert to Papa if it's later, but you can ask your questions now. read the notes. I took all the notes for those three, of what segments that Papa did. So thank you. Auntie Tawa, you can ask your question, ma'am. Please unmute. And welcome, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Today I felt like I'm in botany class again. Thank you, Papa. Thank you very much. All those Brazilian, the last time I heard of it was probably 1971. all those names, all those Bryophyllum and everything. But you gave a wonderful presentation. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate it. The only thing I'm missing is, you mentioned that this can be used, that can be used, but you didn't actually tell us how you can use it. Are we going to boil it? Are we going to dry it? Are we going to grind it? How do we use it?
Thank you. That's a very, very important question.
And by the way, sir, Auntie Tawa is the one who sends us the dried bitter leaf. She sends us from Tampa,
Wonderful.
Florida. She sends it to us.
I see. Wonderful.
Yeah. So thank you again, ma.
And I have referred to, but not much.
So actually, you are doing the right thing already. One of the best ways to have a long use of any herb is to harvest the leaves or any other part and dry them under shade so that most of the properties would still be in the substance, and then be using the dried seed as the dried substance for tea or for soup or whatever. That's one of the best ways. But where you can get them fresh every time, you can also use the fresh leaves for tea or for soup or for salad, depending on how palatable they are. So those are the ways. Now, generally speaking, for the dried material, a tablespoonful.
That's what I wanted to ask.
A tablespoonful for the day is enough. You can divide a tablespoonful into little bits and use them for tea a number of times during the day. If you want to add it to porridge or quick house or whatever, you can also do so by mixing with the porridge. If you like, you can add a little of honey to it to make it a bit more palatable. But some people will not add honey at all. Adding honey and lemon, adding honey and lemon to anything you prepare as medicine will enhance the quality and the palatability. I hope I've answered your question a bit.
Yes, you did. My other question is about the turmeric. You said add a pinch of black pepper. What about a regular pepper instead of black pepper?
No, it should be black pepper. Regular pepper has its own advantages and properties. But for turmeric to be available to the body, to the guts, you need to add black pepper.
Black pepper.
Black pepper is common. You can get it anywhere. Go to any Indian shop or to the spice market, you can get it.
Mike.
Hello.
Add something to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ayurvedic medicine, form the basis for the combination
I'm
of
in the lecture.
of the the turmeric
And the
combination
black pepper.
and black pepper.
Yeah.
One other way by which we could use the dried herbs or leaves, first of all, is to make sure that we harvest.
You can't be going up and I'm using it to say I should off it off.
Hello.
Hello.
Go ahead. Sorry about that. He's been muted.
So, all right. So we should use the tender leaves, not the old leaves that are almost ready to drop from the.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
So leaves have to be tender and they have to be almost fresh.
Correct.
So the best way to also process this is to, once you harvest the leaves, wash them thoroughly. I try to ask to use baking soda to wash it because of all the kind of things settling on them.
Yeah.
And from the air. So if you cleanse the leaves very well, you can cut them like you are dicing the leaves so that they can dry very quickly. Within 1.5 days or 2 days, they dry in your kitchen without having to worry whether they are going to rot or anything like that. So if you do that, particularly the vegetable kind that you can as vegetable to your soup, for instance, I use a little bit of hospital tufa, which is dried. I add it a little bit to, scent leaf. I add a little bit of dried ugu also to the mix to add to any vegetable. So you can still eat them like vegetables as part of your food. So rather than just doing tea, because some people might say, well, I really don't want to do tea too much because I'm drinking too much tea. That's okay. You still can get the same benefit from eating the vegetables directly. Some of them, because anyway, any vegetables you are eating has high fiber, which is another thing you would not get from just drinking it as tea.
Correct.
Fiber plus the phytochemicals, which is in the plant, as a combination when you add them to real food. Brother Mike already mentioned that you could add it to porridge. Actually, if you do yam porridge, I think the Igbos do this when they cook like porridge, yam porridge or cocoyam porridge, they add, scent leaf to it while they were cooking. And that also not just gives it the fragrance, it also gives the medicinal benefit.
The
fiber inside the food. Thank you.
That's very great. Of course, to add to what he has said, the fruits are medicinal. The fruits of many of these plants we have mentioned are medicinal. Pawpaw is medicinal. Orange, lemon, all types of things like that. Avocado, fruit. All these things have got a lot of, addition to our health. So we must be eating them.
Thank you, sir. Sister Rochelle? Sister Rochelle, I am so sorry that
no. I
you had your hand raised, but Dr. Jaffe wanted to add something. So please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I don't want to take too much of the time because I know we're pressed for time. But
No, we're fine.
Okay, thank you very much. This is very, very, very highly informative. Not just for me, but growing up, a lot of these herbs, I come from an herbal family, a herbal background family. We didn't believe in going to the hospital. Even up until my very age, I limit and I do not go to the hospital. Whenever I'm sick, I go to my medicine cabinet, which is where I store all my herbs. And my husband is always saying, who's Yoruba? go to get the proper treatment and go to the hospital. I said, no, I'm doing what my parents have always taught me. So thank you very much, sir. We need to have more herbalists, and we need to believe. I'm Brazilian, my mother's Brazilian. So a lot of these herbs you mentioned, I know them by different names or the botanical name. So I wanted to ask you, would you prefer, I know you mentioned to take them, we took them in tea form, or sometimes my mother would boil it and do something like squeeze them and take out some oil or something like that. But we didn't know, she didn't tell us what the uses were for, but we just knew it was good for us. One of the roots that were very good is maca root. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know the Yoruba name for it.
Maca is very, very good. Yeah.
Would that also be in as an adaptogen? Would that also be considered as an adaptogen, sir?
It
And thank
is.
you very much.
It is.
You need to have another session on this. We need to continue this. Thank you very much, and good night to all.
The
Okay,
Lord bless you.
Sister Rojo, you are not the only one. I'm being bombarded with, we have to have another session. It's coming back. Don't worry. We'll get him back for as many sessions as we want. I'll be calling Papa to bother him. Yeah, he'll be back. Platoon Daddy, I'm so glad you raised your hand because you were asking how to reach Papa, and I'm going to post his number. Is that okay, sir? On the platform.
That's all right. That's all right.
It's in Houston presently, so it's very reachable, and it also has a solid base in Nigeria. So Platoon Daddy, go ahead and ask your question.
One of the reasons why I'm still in the world is to pass over a legacy.
Amen.
So please call anytime.
Thank
so
you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Dr. O, you have correctly answered my question. I'm sorry we have to meet on this platform for a very long time, but my wife dragged me to it, and trust me, I am so ashamed that I've been missing it for this long. So God be the glory.
You're welcome.
I'm so glad that I'm a part of it today. So believe me, I will try my utmost best to be a participant on this platform. So I was just asking, is there a chance, which you have answered, to see Baba for those that have the opportunity to go to Nigeria? So I can see them. I want to see Baba, and I also want to bless Baba for the years that he has stayed on this earth, and for the knowledge that he had just passed on to the younger ones.
Oof, thank you so much. And you know what? I'm writing his personal number on the in the chat box right now. Thank you. Cannot thank you enough. Papa does so much. Do you know that he has so many classes? And he has classes that are all Caucasians. Nobody our color taking advantage and opportunity of this knowledge. So we are grateful that we can bring him to Medical Mondays so that we too can learn. He's presently in Houston if you are in the US, but I'll post his number and you can reach him on regular or WhatsApp on the same number.
Okay, thank you. And if there is any way that, I don't know.
Where are you? Where are
people? I'm in Maryland right now.
Fantastic.
But if I do go to Nigeria, definitely I want to see Baba.
No,
So,
you know, I'm saying Baba is here on US soil in Houston.
Oh, okay.
Papa is in Houston right now, and
Okay.
you can FaceTime him. You can Zoom with him. He also has a solid base in Nigeria. So if you have people in Nigeria who needs treatment or stuff like that, he has people there that will properly take care of them. He also has, he has a place where he would admit patients when they need it. so that they can change the diet, use the herbs. I know so much that he does. I sit at his feet to learn too. It's why I'm giving you this information. But it's now in Houston, and I've posted his number. And the past episodes of Medical Mondays, if you go to YouTube and just search for Medical Mondays with Dr. O, you will see all the past episodes. You'll see his past episodes, all the information he has given us in the past.
That's good. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. And please subscribe when you go to YouTube.
Okay, yes, I will. I will even tell other people about it too. So
yes, please. And the Zoom link is the same every week. It's just the topic that differs.
Okay.
So if you private chat me with your information, then I can send you emails, copy you on the emails every week, or chat you on WhatsApp.
You got my information, but anyway, we deal with that.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. Okay. Thank
God
you
bless.
for coming.
My pleasure.
So, sir, I have so many questions on the platform.
Yeah.
So Haman Dosa, I want to answer his question on wives, and I'm going to make it simple. Haman, you marry one wife, you marry one trouble. You marry two wives, it's 10. It's not double, it's going to be 10. We are strong, we are tough. One is enough for you. Be content with one, and you will live longer. Papa, would you live longer if he has only one wife?
Dr. Ho, if you marry one man, you marry 10,000 trouble. You marry two men, they are 1,419 trouble.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And that's true. One is enough is the message here for everybody. Stick with one man, stick with one woman. We're good. So, sir, I have so many questions here and I'm looking for them. So, Mr. Rochelle asked, what are your thoughts on holy basil? Growing up, she said they used it as a blood cleanser. They boiled it when they use it, and they drink it like tea. Also cook with it. Is that okay, sir? Holy basil.
Yeah.
Okay. You said that before. So, she also said they use maca, and I think she thought about that already. So, Brother Moses, my big bro, Brother Moses Alade, thanks you, sir, for the presentation. Sister Yeti said, wow, this is great information, and thanking you. Fire Williams, I don't know if Fire Williams said, this has been worth missing sleep for. Thank you very much, sir. Brother Taye, thanks you for the great presentation, mind-blowing session. Brother Francis Alu said, and he has a question. I remember that. Monique said, amen, that she wants a lifetime prescription of love, sir. Attorney Williams said the presentation was informative and kudos. Brother Taye said again, thank you, sir. The realistic definition of love was what you gave. Dr. Ethel, our dentist, thanks you for the great presentation. And I think Sister Rochelle asked a question. Haman said he has learned so much this morning. He tuned in from London, and he said he has been to medical school, church, and personal relationship counseling, And so it thanks you for love. And Dr. Izugu, you can unmute and ask your question, sir.
Sure. Thank you so much.
That's great. Then I can look for the questions.
Yeah, Papa, actually, I don't have a question. I just want to thank you for presenting this, because this knowledge is actually known by many African, what we call native doctors, that they just don't share them, and they die with those knowledge.
You are
and
correct.
I'm glad, and I'm glad that you're sharing that knowledge. And many of us, we may be trained scientifically. You're a scientist, you understand what you're telling us, and we know that these things work. So it's a beautiful, lecture, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
The Lord bless you.
Bless you too, madam. Sure.
Coming from a cardiologist, that is deep. Right on point. Thank you so much, bro. Sir, Brother Francis Alu, thanks you for this session, but wants to know how young you are and if you use eyeglasses.
No, I don't use eyeglasses.
Oh, wow.
And I can read the smallest letters.
Sheesh. Wow. So
I'm only 84.
Oh, 84. 84, Dr. O.
84?
Yeah.
He looks fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And he doesn't wear glasses. Oh my God. Papa, I told you I'm coming. Did you see? I'm tired of these glasses. I don't want it.
He must be using the alternatives.
I have to get the right combination of alternatives because I'm done. I don't want these glasses anymore. So I did a health fair with my sister, Dr. Cap, this last Saturday in an all-Hispanic community. And I was so saddened in the middle of the health fair because it was a few hours from 10:30 to 3, and we saw almost 100 patients. I was the only consultant, and of those patients, only 3 or 4 had normal blood sugars. I thought it was 70 something I saw, but I just found out a few ago that it was almost 100, and only 3 or 4. I was so burdened. They have no insurance, so they can see physicians, and I've been brainstorming on how to intervene. So I think I shared this before we started, and somebody just wrote here that if I have a translator and an educator, that maybe I can use, specific training about diet, exercise, and natural options, at least to lower the incidence. So, Papa, I'm going to use the combination of what you gave us. This is fantastic. And thank you so much, Sister Anne, for being mindful, thoughtful, and thinking about me, because I'm not going to lie to you. My yesterday was not productive at all. I was just so burdened thinking of how we're going to intervene in this population, and we will. So Sister Lola Aromolaro said, thank you for this wealth of information, and that she would like to ask if, she says, can we possibly take all these herbs, in what quantity, and how do we take them? So Papa, your head is down, sir. Yes, now we see you again, sir. So you gave us all these herbs, and she wanted to know, how can we possibly take all of them, in what quantity, and how should we combine them?
Oh, well, I've spoken about so many herbs. And to answer that question is that there is a way of combining them in what we call formulations. We form formulas, For chronic diseases, there's a way of making a formula. And for acute diseases, there is another way of making a formula. In a formula, you combine a number of herbs, and you do it depending on the information you get from the client or patient. It's a bit complicated, but if a person wants to use a number of herbs himself or herself, it should come from the knowledge the person has about each of the herbs. He should also know whether when the herbs are combined, there are positive interactions or negative interactions. But generally speaking, herbs that have the same property, for example, if 2 herbs or 3 herbs are all hypoglycemic, if 3 herbs are all hypoglycemic, combining the 3 of them will lower the blood sugar faster. So the more you combine herbs with the same property, the more effective you are going to deal with the condition you want to deal with. And the phenomenon is that 1 + 1 + 1 is not equal to linear 3, but in real life may be equal to 55. 1 + 1 + 1 may multiply itself onto 55 or 70. So it is good to combine herbs with the same general properties, either into soup or into a tea or into a porridge or in any form. That is what I can say generally. But having combined all of them, you shouldn't use more than a tablespoonful per day. I know that in this short time, we cannot explain everything, but anybody who wants further explanation on that can contact me. May I also tell you that I train people and give certificates, and I have it at 4 levels.
Thank you so much, sir. That's why you're also coming back, sir. Dr. V says thank you so much, for another amazing session. And a question, sir. I think it's Sister Clem Banky said, do you know about chickweed? What is it used for? Chickweed.
Well, there are different types of chickweed. What we call chickweed in Africa is different from what they call chickweed in America. I am going to be pragmatic, and I want to, since our audience is mainly African, I want to talk about the chickweed in Africa. The chickweed in Africa is called Tridax procumbens. Tridax procumbens. Tridax, then procumbens, Procumbens. Tridax procumbens. Now, again, it belongs to the Asteraceae family. I spoke about it during the talk. It belongs to the sunflower family. May I say this? That sunflower family is the most important medicinal family in the tropics. Please get it. Most of them are botanically herbs. When I say botanically, I mean they don't have wood. They don't have wood in their structure. They don't have xylem, real wood, in their structure. They are weak, physically weak plants. And most of them grow in broad daylight. They don't grow under shade. They grow in the open. Most of them are annuals. They don't grow for many years. They grow every year. They regrow every year. Most of them produce millions of seeds. They proliferate very easily. Knowing only about 8 to 10 of them and their properties will be enough to control and heal most diseases in the human life. Asteraceae. So this chickweed is called Tridacus procumbens, and I want you to go and study the properties and the health benefits. Very, very common by the roadside.
They're like daisies.
Yeah, they are of the family of daisies. The flower is like a button, like a yellow button.
Yeah.
Very powerful for high blood pressure. So rich in potassium and therefore good for the blood. Very effective in healing wounds that are ulcerative. You can drink the tea even for peptic ulcer.
Thank you so much, sir. So you said it heals wounds also. I think I missed that one, but I took the notes. I'll post it in a minute. Sister Rachel was asking what city you are based in Nigeria. Is presently in Houston, and it grows plants and all of that in Houston as we speak. But Papa is Oshogbo, sir, right? That.
Yep.
Okay.
He's in
Go ahead, Dr. Ajagbe.
Oh, he's in Oshogbo. Yeah, I was in his institution in Oshogbo.
You were? We were. I took you there first.
Yeah, you were, both of you.
During your mom's funeral.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So thank you, Brother Mike, for accommodating us.
It's a pleasure.
So I want to.
Oh, sorry, Doctor. Sorry, Doctor.
Right.
You were talking about the daisies. Do you want to include the black-eyed Susan as part of that?
Black-eyed what?
Susan, black-eyed Susan.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Because I know it's used for dropsy.
Yeah.
And
it grows so easily.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, Papa,
yeah.
Sadenika is asking if you have written a book containing this information.
I have written 4 books volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4.
So, oh my gosh, I've been tardy here. Dr. Ajay, Dr. Ajay, you need to step in for me here so that we can get Papa's books listed. But if you Google Dr. Mike Oye, you will see the list of books, right? Right, Papa?
Well, I have a website where people can see some things, a few things.
Okay, can I have the website, sir, so I can list that? And for Papa's number, WhatsApp is better to call him on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So Amazing Toyin said that he has some of these herbs in liquid form extracts. Are they as effective that he puts 3 or 4 drops in a tablespoon every morning or in a glass with few spoons of water?
It depends on how the thing was extracted.
What do you mean, sir?
It's either in the form of water extract or it's a tincture.
Yeah.
You can have a tincture, and a tincture is very concentrated and can come in the form of a few drops in a quantity of water.
Okay.
So it depends on how the thing was extracted.
Okay, I will follow up with them so that I can, see how that is done. So, someone is asking if you sell the herbs, sir. And Sister Rachel said, where can they purchase? So again, I'm going to, sir, go ahead, sir. I'm going to put your number up there.
I have more than 100 different herbs in my laboratory here in the US. And I am capable of doing all forms of combinations into formulae for all diseases. And I post them, I ship them to every part of the world, including Australia. Hello?
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, so the answer is that, yes, I have various herbs available for different diseases, either for preventive or for curative.
And again, his number is on WhatsApp. But the books, sir, Brother Tai was asking if those books can be obtained on Amazon.
No, I don't have anything on Amazon.
Sir,
but
how do you sell them?
I have copies here. I post them. I ship them to people who want them.
By yourself?
By myself.
Papa, I'm going to connect you. What's the website address, sir?
Chloro Life Giver. Chloro Life Giver. Now, chloro as in chlorophyll, eh?
Yes, sir.
Chloro Life Giver.
Yes, sir.
.com. ChloroLifeGiver.com.
So that's
www.chlorolifegiver, all joined together,
yes, sir.
.com.
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you, sir. Brother Tai posted it. No, Sister Rachel, he has the books here in the US and he's selling it by himself. We have to see how we're going to get it on Amazon. That's a task we have to accomplish, because these are incredible. We have lost a lot of knowledge from our forefathers because it was not passed down. And the blessing that we have Papa Mike, who has made it his life business to make sure that all this information is appropriately disseminated and that we have them and that nothing is lost. You heard he said that in his presentation and he lives it. So this is fantastic. So maybe by next week, I will have more information on the books, but please reach out to him through the website or his phone number on WhatsApp and request the books so you can get them. I've been posting and reposting the information, and the website is posted also, chlorolifegiver.com. Thank you so very much, sir. And thank you everyone for coming. This is amazing. Papa, you're coming back because you've not scratched the surface. I have questions. I didn't ask them. So because of time. So,
You're
sir,
welcome.
what are your parting words for us, sir?
You are what you eat and drink. You are what you eat and drink. Make use of the things God has created around you. You can, by that, prolong your life and live a more abundant life. God bless you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Amazing. Toyin said, thank you, sir, for the excellent information. Sister Rachel thanks you. She said, God bless you, Dr. Oye. My sister Yeti Leadi says, thanks so much for Dr. O, for putting this together, man. God bless you. Thank you so much. And Dr. Gillum is excited. She's reposting that website. I know she's been on it and reposting